interest or actually for family finances. So I'm taking a different approach, some targeted measures today to help motorists with a freeze in fuel duty. I've already frozen fuel duty twice. I'll freeze it until at least the end of the year. Additional help for people who are heavy users of cars or lorries, increasing mileage rates, help for HGV drivers, help for farmers and hauliers. So targeted support at those who need it most.
Very helpful.
Well, one of the measures Chancellor mentioned there was an increase in the tax-free mileage allowance for workers who use their own cars.
We can discuss this with Dan Archer, who runs a home care company, and carer Sharon Brown. Good morning to you both.
Good
morning. Dan, can you explain how this will make a difference? Because not everyone realises that you can kind of claim back the cost of using this mileage for if you use your car for work purposes.
Yeah, and I think the announcement that the Chancellor made has a good impact for a lot of drivers. My problem with it is that she talked about it in the context of carers, and I don't think it's going to necessarily deliver the benefit for carers. Now, when someone is driving for work, they are able to reclaim a pence per mile, an amount per mile from their employer for the driving that they do. Unfortunately, in the care sector, according to Care Sector Charity, 30% of home care workers receive no payment at all for that mileage currently. So in some respects, it doesn't matter whether that threshold is 45% or 45 pence or 55 pence. If the employer's not reimbursing the care worker, they're not going to see a benefit from this.
So just to be clear, 30% don't.
30% don't. That's 240,000 people, Naga.
Yeah, but 70% do. I just kind of want to bring some balance to this in that sense. So 70%. So that's why the Chancellor was referring to it, because politically messaging, it works.
In the same research, though, 100% of the care workers that were spoken to said that the payment they do receive doesn't meet the cost of the fuel. So very often they're not being paid at the rate which is the current ceiling, which is 45 pence. Now, Sharon is paid at 45 pence per mile. We were paying as much as we possibly could in that situation.
So is 45 pence not the accepted limit, or is it just a kind of suggestion?
45 pence is the maximum that the Chancellor was allowing you to be able to get paid without there being a tax consequence for doing so. Very often care workers are paid at 25 pence per mile, or in 30% not at all in actual fact.
Sharon, just break it down. How does it work for you in practice?
Well, I work for Visiting Angels, and we're really taken care of. We don't just get mileage allowance, we get travel allowance as well, which makes a difference in your wage packet of about $500-600 a month.
What's the difference between those two things? Mileage allowance?
You've got travelling allowance, you've got travel allowance, which is paid at minimum rate, and then you have your mileage.
Your time travelling.
That's your time,
right?
Yes, so you get paid from start to end.
Going between jobs, for example,
Yes,
because you're visiting people in their own homes.
That's correct.
For example.
Yeah.
And this amount of money, the Chancellor's announcement yesterday, will mean you get more?
My managing director is looking into that to see if we're going to get 55 pence or if it stays at 45.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at the rate it is at the moment, is that covering what it costs you?
Yes, by a mile. I get paid probably double than what I'm putting in. Makes a huge difference. Huge difference.
But the problem lies, you must have people who maybe obviously not working for the same company, maybe in the same line of work, who do not have those arrangements.
I do know those, those
and
people.
what does that mean for them on a practical
They can't afford to do their work. They can't afford to put the fuel in, so they're leaving their jobs, looking elsewhere.
Because they're losing money working.
And they're losing good carers, you know.
And this is the issue I think I have with what was said yesterday, is that when carers are talked about in this context, it's said to try and suggest a solution for the care sector. This doesn't provide a solution for the care sector at all. If we've got 30% of care workers not getting paid at all for their mileage, in addition to that, the travel time piece, there is data from a website, fairercarerpay.co.uk, which shows that 71.8% of care workers are not paid for their travel time. Now, that's 574,000 workers being paid illegally, less than minimum wage, because they're not paid for their travel time.
Can you explain, Dan, how it is that with, I mean, your company, you do pay this. How is it that others do not? How is it allowable that they have the flexibility just to go, you don't get paid for that?
Yeah, so what I would say is we started from the beginning by wanting to make this something we championed. Yeah, we wanted to be able to ensure that care workers are looked after properly, because the consequence of not doing that is that people don't get the care visits that they need.
So it's just a choice. So you could turn around tomorrow to your staff and say, do you know what, that's over.
Yeah.
You could do that.
Yeah, but the reality is that paying people less than minimum wage is illegal. The problem with this, and the reason I've written to and met 11 politicians, I've tried to have a meeting with Stephen Kinnock, I've met Anna Turley MP, who's the chair of the Labour Party, to try and engage with the scale of the problem, because I think the problem with this is it's like care washing. When they talk about care, they talk about care as if something can be done about it. It's not addressing the problem. We've got 500,000 workers who are being paid illegally. Unless you know that's the scale of the problem, you're not going to have a solution to fix it.
Who picks up, I mean, Sharon, when you've got an employer who says they're going to look at this, is the change, is that because they pick up the slack, it costs them money, or is it the government that's picking up the slack?
No, it's the employer makes that payment to their employees.
So you're reliant on the generosity of your employer?
Yeah.
Or,
that's
or
why
the fairness, I should say,
the
fairness of your employer.
Will you be visiting people today, Sharon? Are you enjoy a day
They've took my clients off me today because I'm here.
Okay.
But I will miss them, and I do miss them.
I mean, they very undervalued care workers generally.
I think so.
That moment you have with people, I mean, that makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
It's massive. With Visiting Angels, we're really taken care of. I feel really blessed to work for this company because we are valued. And when you're valued, it makes you want to be better. And be better carers for these people.
There's
these are real people
doing the job.
Yeah, and I know everybody.
You get to do what you want.
Yeah, the whole team of angels in Chorley love their job. They love what they do.
Sharon, thank you very much. Dan, thank you for your time this morning as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
23 minutes to 7.